Hey, it's Darren Lee.
Leonard Williams.
This is Justin Burris.
Jason McDougal here. Doug Middleton. Darren Roberts.
So you're watching NYJFTV.
You're watching NYJFTV.
So you're watching NYJFTV. You're watching NYJFTV.
Go Jets.
Go Jets.
I came to tell him the truth, and the truth hurts. She said, do what you're supposed to, and never let them fold ya. Mama was a thug, I was raised by a soldier. The purse on the shoulder, got a pistol with no holster. Said let a nigga make a move and I'ma toast him, ghost him, sleep tight, ain't never what it seemed like. Wanna know my life? A lot of death and some street fights. Walking home at night, they smoking meth by the street lights. Had to check some niggas cause they thought I was the weak type. See heights that they never thought I could reach. Word games and flashcards so my daughter can speak. Cause she about to turn 5 and she can't say.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another Victory Monday edition of NYJFTV. I'm one of your hosts, Kevin Sirkin, here with Fireman Ed and former Jets wideout Rob Carpenter. And believe it or not, the Jets are 3-2 and tied for first place. I can't believe the way the season has started off so far. Yesterday, it was ugly at times. It was far from perfect. But at the end of the day, Ed, you said it on Thursday. It was all about walking away from the dog pound with a victory. At the end, they made the big plays to get it done. So, Ed, what were your takeaways from this one?
Well, I was going out of my mind at halftime. I mean, but I said earlier in the week that I thought they were going to have a hard time with Cleveland. I just think the situation of the game, the way the game was on a schedule, these two teams, they won 2 big games at home. They go to Cleveland. They got New England next week. So I was expecting them to lay an egg. They came back. The fourth quarter, they played like the team that played the 2 weeks before. They started playing football. And they made the plays when they had to. I thought John Morton's game planning in the second half was huge. He adjusted and started making plays there. So I was excited. And listen, if you can't be excited for the New England Patriots coming up, I mean, this clam face up there in New England. Remember what he did to us last year in Christmas Eve. All right. And he stuck it to us. He loves to stick it to us, that guy. He's going to play all the games now. Oh, the Jets are playing well. The Jets playing well. He wants nothing better than to destroy us right now. So anyway, it was a great win. It was a good win. They came back. They showed some heart. Young guys. Nice.
Yeah, I feel the same way, Ed. It was it was a pleasure to see, even though first half team actually looked really, really, really sluggish. Although, They made plays when they had to, the goal line stand when Kaiser ended up making a pitch for the fumble. Those plays right probably would have made last year. So these guys are playing it full out. So whether they get backed up, they're back there in their own red zone, and having to make stops. They're making plays. So, regardless of who it is, it's always hard to get a win in the NFL, man. Even though it's Cleveland and, Cleveland is not one of the better teams in the league, going into their place, it's always tough. So, I can't say that the victory was, a sound game, but when you always get a W, it's a W, regardless of how you got it. So, there's always going to be something that you could look at in the game that you can take away some positives from. And me taking positives away from this game is the fact that, the team could have been down easily 20-0. And, they stayed right there in it. Defense kept playing. Offense was trying to plug away and keep with the game plan that they had. And, when the second half came around and they needed to make a drive to seal the game, they did it. And, you can't fault them for that.
And, let's start with the defense, which, it was a total mixed bag out there, letting the Browns go for over 400 yards. They outgained the Jets by 200 yards. But the three big plays, of course, were inside the 10-yard line. They walked away with no points. The big interception by Marcus May, the huge goal line stand on 4th down. I don't know what the hell the Browns were doing there, going for it with a chance to tie the game. But, you know, were you more positive on the side of the defense, or are you a little bit concerned with the Patriots coming up that, you know, the Browns were able to march for 400 yards with Kevin Hogan?
For me, you know, of course it's going to be a different bag with you know, with the Patriots coming into town. But like I said, the thing that you can take away from the fact that of the Browns game is these guys actually stayed in it, you know, for 4 downs. Like you just mentioned, the 4th down play, you know, inside the red zone where kick field goal, the game is tied, and you know, I guess Jackson was trying to get some you know, some positivity going for his team, but you know, they stuffed it, and you know, just take the ball back and get it out of there. So you know, those things that you actually have to look for going forward to playing a team like the Patriots. So you know, I'm not totally, you know, down on the fact that they gave up 400 yards, but you know, it was one of those games where they bend and didn't break. So you know, the holding the team out of the end zone for the majority of the game like they did, positives away from that. Pass rush is going to have to be there a little bit, you know, going forward. But you know, during times of the game, Bowles came up with some schemes and some plays, some defensive plays that actually put pressure on the quarterbacks, and you know, it worked. We got turnovers. You know, that interception by May was huge. It looked like they knew exactly what was going on. May just stepped right in front of the pass, and you know, that's another thing that you take away from the game right there. Like, all right.
And Ed, what were your thoughts on the defense? I know you're a little disappointed in, you know, what we're getting from the defensive line. We haven't really seen much of Leo or Mo yet. What are your takeaways?
Well, I'd like to see. First off, I want to give a big round of applause to Demario Davis. Came home, you know, went to Cleveland. He played one hell of a game. I mean, he was a beast out there. If we get to play that Demario Davis, the way he's playing, and not just yesterday, him playing, if everybody could play on that level, my God, you know, so, but listen, Mo Wilkerson's again in the ski mask team. He's obviously hurt. I don't know why they're playing him there. He shouldn't be playing. They should be putting somebody else in there. You know, go with Pennell. You know, we got to get somebody else in there. Leonard Williams got to be playing hurt. There was no pressure on the quarterback. I thought Freddie Bishop played a real good game, came off the practice squad. Thought Freddie Bishop showed some heart and hungry. I thought Darren Lee had some, you know, up and downs. He's all over the place. I think I tell you, I think he's on espresso. The guy's a madman. He's all over the place. He's everywhere. Even where he's not supposed to be. Then he's all over the place. If you watch him on film, you're like, what the hell? I mean, he doesn't stop going. I'll tell you that. He's got a motor.
He's showing some progress, at least what you want to see.
Yeah, he is. He's showing some progress. And listen, I thought that the safeties, I thought it was his worst game. My man Adam's family, he must have seen the big banner that you guys had, and he got a little nutty. Because he even said today, he tweeted, I seen his tweet. He said, wasn't up to my standards. I agree with him. But accountability. But you know what? This is why he's a leader, because he's held accountable. He's held accountable. I love that he's held accountable. He held himself accountable. Now, with that being said, you got the other safety. We have some tandem here. You got all day May. All day May. All day May. That's beautiful. Now, what I want to see happen on Sunday, I want to see all day May. I want to see the kid Adams, and I want to see him put a print on Sunday at home saying, there's new boys in town. Tommy, there's new boys in town. We come to play here. And start hitting these guys. Hit Amendola. Hit all these guys. Defense, I thought stepped up when it counted. When it counted, they stepped up. But that pass rush, we need Josh Martin back. We need Cone Ely back. Got to have him back.
All right, so before we start talking about the offense, we have a couple people that would like to come on and ask you guys a question. So the first person we're going to bring up is our good friend, Robbie Jersey.
Enjoy it.
Lost him.
All right, no
Where's
Robbie
Robbie?
Jersey. Let's try who we got next. Let's go Kyle. Hopefully we can get one.
There we go.
There we go.
Looks like Kyle.
Hey, Kyle, man, what's going on? We saw you sitting in the dog pound taking some heat from the fans. How'd you enjoy the game out there?
Oh, it was awesome, dude. The dog pound was all right. I mean, there wasn't too much abuse.
What's on your mind, man?
I wanted to know what you guys thought about the cutting of Marcus Williams for Jalen Marshall.
I thought it was expected. I thought he played horrible yesterday. He got toasted. He was getting toasted. He looked like a different guy. I don't know what happened to that guy that had the 6 interceptions. He started going down last year. I don't know if it rubbed off from Revis, and I don't know. I mean, he looked horrible yesterday. He looked unprepared to me. He looked like he was forced into the game, and I don't know what happened to him. I wasn't surprised he got cut today. Not at all.
I was a little surprised.
Hard to
Honestly,
argue.
just a little. Caught me off guard just a little bit.
Yeah, I was a little taken back when I saw the news.
Yeah, I mean, if you watched the way he played yesterday, I didn't really think it was much of a surprise. He was getting beat by the backup tight end, falling all over the field. He didn't play at all in the first 4 games. The only thing you got to worry about is if Justin Burris or Darryl Roberts finally.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
That's the reason why it caught me off guard a little bit. That's the reason why it caught me off guard a little bit. Bringing back a receiver and cutting a DB, I actually would have thought they probably would have not cut one of the DBs because of guys being a little injured right now. So that's the only reason why it caught me a little off guard.
I'm hungry to see this Derek Jones. That kid's got some. He reminds me so much. He's got the build of Antonio Cromartie. He's got that lanky build, fast. I don't know. Maybe he's not ready yet, but I'm sure he's going to get in there at some point.
All right, Kyle, man, thanks a lot for taking the time to call in. We definitely appreciate it, dude.
No problem.
All right, so let's switch gears and turn it over to the offense. And Rob, I'll start with you. I know you had a lot to say about Morton's offensive game plan, with the West Coast offense. What were you seeing from the Jets?
What I saw was these guys actually went into this game and looked like they tried to change up personnel a little bit with the same formations. At times, it's not going to work when you try to do that. I guess they looked at the Browns and tried to say that they could take some chances and see if other guys could play different positions, because that's actually the way the West Coast offense works. You're not set in one position. Most of the receivers actually have to be able to move across the board to the other positions. So, you saw it early when they flexed out Safarian Jenkins, tried to get him on a couple of slant routes. Usually that's either Robbie Anderson or Curse right now. Just like they were trying to force the Browns into matchups, and the Browns actually didn't match up that way. They stayed in their base, and when you get a corner on a tight end trying to run a slant, usually the corners win that battle. So, it's just something that happens with the West Coast offense. I'm pretty sure you're going to see it again, sometime down the line. Doesn't always work. That's why every once in a while, you see West Coast offenses just go into a game and they start sputtering in the first half. And then usually when the coaches get in for the halftime, they make those adjustments and say, all right, enough of this. We're going back to our regular base personnel and base play calling. So, and it seemed like they did that in the second half and started moving the ball a lot more. Got Curly involved, Curse got involved, Robbie was involved, Safarian was involved, in his regular position. Even the backup tight ends were involved. So, you just saw the ball moving all over the place. The only problem we might have going forward is the fact that Bilal Powell is a little injured, a little nicked up. It happens to him. It seems like early in the season every year. So hopefully it's not too bad. But McGuire's a guy who I think is going to be one of those good guys, man. Can fill in well and moving forward. Hopefully he takes the ball and runs with it. But overall, it just looked like they actually had the game plan to say, all right, we're going to try a few different things because it's the Browns. Early in the first half they didn't work. So offense was sputtering. Second half, they came out and just decided to go back to their base stuff and started moving the ball a lot better.
I'd like to know. Yeah, I'd like to know why they keep going, Rob. 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. They were lining up these 5 receiver sets. I mean, what happened with Lawrence Thomas and running the ball? I mean, as we're going to get into this season, that it gets colder. I mean, it's 5 receiver sets. I mean, they seem to do it every time. Like what happened here? Well, yesterday they didn't once line Lawrence Thomas up and try to get that first down that way. I mean, I mean they did make. Listen, I think 2 out of the 3 times they made first down on it. With a short out or whatever they did. It was driving me crazy. You know how I feel about the fullback. So
yeah, for sure. Every 3rd and 1, Ed. I know you want a fullback in there and smash mouth it up in there and get that first down.
Keep old school.
I just think that when they look at film, if they think they can exploit some of those advantages, from the team that they're playing, there's going to be times where probably this week when they look out at playing the Patriots, they can line up and run the ball 3rd and 1, put Lawrence Thomas in there or another fullback and smash it up in there and get the first down and keep going. But there's also going to be times where I think they just put plays in, trying to exploit what the defense doesn't have. So if a defense doesn't, they think they can exploit a 5 wide receiver set, no matter what the down and distance, they'll go to it. But
a lot of penalties,
is, like you said. Yeah, that's the bad thing.
A lot of penalties. 9 penalties yesterday.
Can't have penalties playing against the Patriots.
9 penalties. I mean, and the offensive line is most of them are the offensive line.
Yeah,
all kinds of things going on with that offensive line with penalties wise.
Although that first holding call on Austin Seferian-Jenkins, I think was a BS call.
Yeah, that was bull. That was bull.
Because that was just a straight pancake. So, and I think it was Powell who actually had the run. He was long past him, and Austin just finished off the block. Man, that was a BS call. But yeah, the false start penalties that the O-line is having and these holding calls, yeah, they're gonna have to stop.
I tell you what, I want to see them put that Travis Cadet in from the Saints this week. Not what's his face, Matt Forte. I want to see that Cadet. Cadet's a good running back. I want to see him get some time. He likes to mix these guys up. Get Cadet in there. I thought we'd see him a little more yesterday, and we didn't.
I think that's probably what's going to happen.
Sunday.
I think that's probably what's going to happen going forward. Morton has some experience with him, so I don't see why he wouldn't start playing more now.
Yeah, we got to run the ball. We got to keep Brady off the field.
Yeah.
All right, so before we open it up for some questions, we're going to go back to the phones, and we're going to try Robbie Jersey one more time, see if we can get him on here.
Hey, what's going on?
Robbie!
Hey,
what's up, Robbie?
The big fella's in the house.
Here, but there was no volume.
Is that right?
How you guys doing? I guess I'm gonna ask my question. So I mean, I was very happy with Josh McCown his performance, especially like he hasn't played like last game. It was a little it wasn't his greatest game, but that 97-yard drive was very impressive. And Rob, I mean, it was just it was a type of win drive that you need in a game like that. I mean, that game was kind of like the defense was taken care of as far as turnovers. And Rob, there was a couple of times the broadcaster said he switched off a run and threw a pass. I mean, not able to run is really hard on a quarterback. Was that Josh or was that more the play call? And what did you think about that drive, Rob?
Actually, I think of the whole drive was basically Josh. He's that type of veteran quarterback. He's not going to put the team in a bad situation with a play call. So if a play call comes in where he has the opportunity to audible or check to something else, he's a guy who studies enough. I mean, he's been around the league enough to put the team in a better position. And a lot of times, well, I'm not going to say a lot of times, but sometimes the play is just not going to work, period. The defense is going to win. So regardless of what play call he has to change it to. But on that drive itself, he took control of the whole drive himself. He put the team in good positions. He made the throws that he needed to make. He hit the guys that were open. That pass to Curley that put them basically in the red zone was huge. And it basically looked like right then and there, they're like, all right, yeah, we're going to score now. So and don't get me wrong, they caught a break because that penalty that they got on that third down that actually basically was an incomplete pass, but it was roughing the passer, helped out tremendously. But right after that, it just moved the ball right down the field. But Josh actually was making calls out there on that drive to put them in a better position, checking off to two different plays. So he's just that type of quarterback that can do that. He's been around the league long enough to know different defenses and make the right checks.
Robbie, man, thanks a lot for taking the time to call in. We definitely appreciate it, dude.
All right, bro.
Good looking, Robbie.
All right, so with that, we have a ton of questions to go to. So we're just going to get right into them. The first one comes from Ryan Ford. He wants to know if you guys think Jamal Adams could be Defensive Rookie of the Year.
No doubt.
It's possible. It's very possible. If he keeps playing the way he's playing right now, his grades are, at the top of the list with the rookies. No doubt. And especially the teams that the Jets have to play for the rest of the season. He makes plays like that against these teams, Patriots twice, Panthers, Falcons. If he's all over the field, he's going to be right up there in the voting for Rookie of the Year.
Maybe both safeties will be 1-2. Or they'll have a split vote and have two of them for the first time in history. That'd be even better.
I think I told you guys. I think May was going to lead the team in interceptions. So
May.
I think he's going to get a chance to get a few more out there. So we'll see.
All right. Next up, we have actually two people, Maurizio Petruzella and our good friend Melvin, who wants to know what's going on with Mo Wilkerson and Leonard Williams. I know we talked about it a little bit earlier on the show. What's up with those two guys?
Me personally, I just think both of them are hurt. And we know Mo Wilkerson is hurt, and he's trying to play through the shoulder injury. And it's tough, when you're out there trying to battle old linemen, double teams with a sore shoulder. It's just tough, man. But he's just trying to work through it. Hopefully, he can sooner or later he can work through the injury and then come back to the old Mo. But Leonard Williams, same thing. I think he's still battling that wrist injury, man. He just doesn't look healthy to me. Past 2 years with him battling double teams, he would take on a double team and not move anywhere. Now I see him actually getting forced off the ball, getting offensive linemen getting pushed on him. Then again, I actually really haven't looked totally into it, 100%. Maybe just a scheme of things. So I got to look a little closer. I have seen some things where, these guys aren't in the mix for the rush. They actually have to, hold their lane. So that's just part of the scheme. But me personally, I just think both of these guys are battling through injuries right now.
See, I agree with you. I think they are injured, but you could see the difference in when Leonard Williams, he still pursues the ball. He still goes after. He's still hustling. I don't see Mo Wilkerson doing that. That's periodic. He takes plays off. I don't know what happened to that guy. That guy got the money and we can call injuries all we want after a while.
Mo just gave up on the play. Kevin Hogan escaped. He ran for a first down. Mo was just jogging right behind him. And those are the things when you're making $18 million, it's not acceptable,
You know what? It's not just it's you know what, man? Come on, man. You know what? All right, your shoulder. It's not his legs, right? Come on. Yeah. He's just a different guy. You just see it. You see he's a different guy. Man, it's aggravating. Aggravating.
All right, our next question comes from Phil Rodriguez, who is hyped about the return of Jalen Marshall this week, although I might tamper down some of that hype only because we know he's not going to be involved in the return game. At least we don't think. He hasn't been practicing there. And I don't know if there's really a role for him at receiver right now because our Darius Stewart's struggling to get on. So I don't really know how much of Marshall we're going to see. You guys think any different?
No, I think he'll be on the sideline.
Going right along, we've got – who's up next? All right, another question from Maurizio about Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Do you guys think he can develop into a Pro Bowl tight end?
I would sign him immediately. I would sign him now. Now sign him because you can get him on the cheap. You don't got to pay a lot of money for him. He's just starting to make his move. I would be at his agent and I would try to sign that kid right now. And try to get him for pay him money, but you ain't got to pay him crazy money because I think the longer it goes, the more success he goes, the more money that's going to be. So to me, I would be making offers right now to get him. That's my opinion. I don't know about you, Rob.
As far as a Pro Bowl tight end, I'm not really sure he'll be able to climb the ladder that high. But as far as a very good, serviceable tight end for us with the Jets or somebody else, absolutely. Because I think right now he sees he's getting that second chance. He's changed his life around, and he's taking full advantage of it right now. And I don't think he'll be a guy that actually will take a step back and fall flat on his face. I think he's just going to just keep improving, and can say right now that the team, the coaches, and everybody else has full confidence in him. So right now, I think he'll be around here for a while and be one of the top tight ends in AFC at least. For the time that he's here. Well, he's
a free agent after the year, so he's
I'm sure they're going to actually look forward to signing him, and he seems like the type of guy who's actually really grateful that they actually gave him a second chance, and he's happy to be here. He seems like he's fitting in well with the surroundings and the team that's here. Yeah. So as long as his coaching staff is here, as long as his coaching staff is here, I'm pretty sure that he's gonna be here, and they're gonna utilize him. He's a good athlete, man. He's that guy that whether it's McCown or a young quarterback needs to be roaming around this field, because he's been making some big catches for them.
And he'll push that kid, the draft pick, Jordan Leggett. He'll push him, the fifth rounder, to get on the field. So,
I think when he comes back healthy, those two on the field together is going to be a pretty good tandem.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, as we start to wrap up, there's just one last thing that we got to talk about, and that's the way the media has covered this team throughout training camp, throughout the preseason. Especially after the 0-2 start, everyone was reading the headlines, about Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen. Meanwhile, it seems like the other team in New York is finally tanking for those guys. So, Ed, I'm curious what your thoughts are on the way this team has been covered throughout, the whole season so far.
Well, I think it's awesome because Jay had a video out. He should actually show that, because it's that good. I mean, it's one of the best things I've seen, and it's sweet music, because think about it. They said we were going to be 0-16, right? Well, they had it right with New York. They just had the wrong team.
Yeah.
They had the wrong team. Isn't it beautiful? Enjoy it, because I'm enjoying it. 11 games left, and you got nothing to play for. You got nothing to play for. We know what that's like. We've been there. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Because we have a little foundation going right now. We got a little foundation. We're building a house. Building a house.
Here to where the Jets are now releasing players that will be coveted elsewhere in the league.
You are fake news.
Obviously, this is a big deal for the Patriots and for Harris. In the next 12 hours, they either will be releasing or trading him, but he no longer is a part of the Jets' plans. They are moving on from him.
That's why it's a tank job, because the Decker and Harris moves are moves where you're totally taking the names and personalities off the budget sheet, and Woody Johnson just crossing names off a ledger, which is indicating that you're not looking at chemistry or anything else.
You are fake news.
The New York Jets, 1,000 to 1. Odds makers saying it's the longest odds ever for a team entering Week 1.
I'm sorry, but I have them at 0-16. The quarterback situation is bad as any I remember. I have their over-under at 4, and that's on touchdowns scored this season.
You are fake news.
The Jets might have the worst roster I've seen in a decade. Oh, while Brandon Marshall joked, will they have enough people to line up is the question.
You are fake news.
5-man rush, and open is Marshall, and he drops the ball.
If I'm on that team, if I'm a Jets player currently, I am upset by the fact that you're taking my year for granted.
You are fake news.
And they don't.
Oh, my goodness. If I'm Matt Forte, I'm in that locker room right now like, this is not what I signed up for. This is not why I left Chicago to come to New York. I came here to compete.
You are fake news.
McGuire will go! Touchdown, Jets! Powell to the end zone!
Say what you want about Sheldon Richardson. He's the guy who can't seem to drive the speed limit. He's in trouble off the field somewhat. Sometimes he goes after his teammates. He's still productive when he's on the field.
You are fake news.
McCown hooks a pass. Deep ball. Looking for it all. Caught for the touchdown. Jermaine Kearse.
On the mic like an old batch of collard greens. It's the capital SOS suppression double OP. D-O double G, Y D-O double G, you see? Showing.
That's great.
Shout out to Jay for that awesome video. I swear I've watched it about 50 times and it never gets old seeing it. So again, Jay, great job with that.
Awesome.
As we wrap up, guys, make sure you're getting on Shindig. All right, if you want to be a part of the show, download the Shindig app. We can bring you on to ask a question. Also, check out fanduel.com/NY Jets fans. Get involved with our Jets Only Fantasy League. And lastly, SeatGeek.com. Use our promo code NYJF. Go get your tickets for Jets Patriots. All right, let's rock the house. First place on the line. Go get your tickets. Jets Pats, let's go. All right, we'll talk to you guys again on Thursday night. Go Jets.
Get the clam faces.